Well, today's episode is going to mark one hell of a story in the head coach. We are back not with a job offer, but with 3 job interviews from top half League One clubs. They're a huge step up in stature, and we're going to go and talk to them all now. We're going to have a big decision to make if more than one offers us a job though, because I genuinely don't know how to separate them. Yes, hello and welcome along to the half century of this head coach story with me, Daniel. It is part 50 today, and as you can see, we are back on the 31st of May. If the title didn't give it away, if the thumbnail didn't give it away, then surely this will. We have got a spate of interviews from very big clubs at a much higher level, and although we've taken Bromley into the Football League, our first EFL game is probably not going to be in charge of them. If you want to find out what clubs it might be with, and whether any of them offer us a job, then please do put a thumbs up on it. As I mentioned in the introduction, if more than one of these offers us a job, I genuinely have no idea what to do, because they're all massive clubs and very similar stature in the footballing world. So hopefully we'll get at least one and maybe not more than one to make it easier. But if all goes to plan, I can shamelessly show off my merch and say it sounds like sour grapes coming from the Bromley fans. Let's go and have a look at the inbox though. There's no point holding it up. We've been here about a month since the end of the season, and the inbox is full of job interviews. Who are they from? Well, the moment for waiting is over. We have got job interviews from the clubs that finished 9th, 11th and 12th, I think, in League One last season. Let me just go and double check that. Blackpool finished in 11th place, and where were the other two? 9th, 10th and 11th, even better than that. Bolton, Barnsley and Blackpool, all the Bs as we stay after Bromley. But they're great clubs. They are massive steps up. All former Premier League clubs too. Barnsley, if we have a look at them, professional club in terms of reputation, 2.5 star, professional squad. They've been stuck in the top half of League One for a while. Facilities are great. They're still at Oakwell, 23,000 stadium, good facilities across the board. Bolton, by contrast, grew up watching them with JJ Okocha and former Galacticos in the side. Professional club, general 2.5 star. They've come down from the Championship and been stuck in the top half for 3 years. If we have a look at their facilities, great training facilities, average youth, and of course a decent stadium, although they're moving out of it. They are going to a new 24,000 seater, the Nat Lofthouse Stadium, on the 20th of June. So I'd be managing their first game in a new stadium as well. The other job interview is from Blackpool. They are a professional club. Neil Earley currently the interim manager. Facilities, 18,000 stadium near enough. Basic facilities, why are they so poor? Maybe they're now the least appealing of the 3 clubs. We'll take a look at their squads respectively if we get a job offer. But for now, Barnsley are offering us an interview. We're an acceptable fit for the club's somewhat scaled back vision. Blackpool are offering us one because we like signing first team players no older than 23. I guess we've got to thank our former directors of football for that. And Bolton have offered us one because we fit their vision as well. So for me, Bolton or Barnsley would be the 2 preferences, purely on facilities. Blackpool a good club as well, to be fair. We're not going to complain at any of them. But we're going to go through the Barnsley job interview. I don't want to show all of them because I know it gets a bit repetitive. But let's just get through one and see how we get on. We're glad you've come to discuss the plans for the club's vision should we hire you. I'm glad we've had a chance to talk. Another summer, another load of job interviews, hey? I think my body of work proves I deserve the opportunity to step up. I do. I feel that it's acceptable to apply for a number of jobs given how long I've been in management. I'm trying to forge a career by any means necessary. Could you ease our worries about your apparent failure to cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere? I've just won a league title, you know. Very much the exception rather than the rule. It's the one thing that really is a bugbear for me about FM interviews. If you have one slight moment or dip of dressing room atmosphere in your first year of your career, it then holds with you for 20 odd seasons. Do you think you've got a better chance of meeting expectations than your potential predecessor? I've got a good record when it comes to meeting expectations. I don't need a budget. I'm not in charge of staff. You can sort that out yourselves. Develop players using the club's youth system, work within the wage budget, grow the reputation. They want to get promoted, I'm guessing, because next season they want to attempt to remain in the Championship. So they must have expectations to go up. They finished 10th last year. They've got training and youth facility upgrades for next season they're hoping to get through. This is a club doing work off the pitch. I'm happy with those proposals. I understand you've got nothing for the rest of this year. No request to propose, or do I want a parent club? Maybe. There can't be any harm in asking, can there? Not something they want to do right now. That's fine. Nothing I can think of. Thanks for attending this interview. I'll tell you what Bolton and Blackpool's expectations were after as well. We'll be back if we get an offer or if any more jobs come up. Right, time for a very quick update, having attended all 3 interviews now. Bolton have got huge financial troubles. They're the only one of the 3 where we've got to repair financial damage. Blackpool were the only ones who agreed to a parent club, and all 3 of them expect promotion next season because their goal for the 29-30 season, which is the year after next, is to stay in the Championship. So based on what I've seen so far, given the huge financial problems at Bolton and Blackpool maybe being the slightly lower reputation club in terms of facilities and all of that stuff, then I'm going to go for Barnsley if the opportunity comes. Whether we get all 3 options, whether we get one, I just don't know. I'll take you very quickly to the job centre to look at what's there at the minute, because we have applied for some Championship ones as well. I'm really interested in QPR, and it looks like they've got a heavy favourite, but they've been relegated from the Championship. And Nelson and Bennett, who starred for us this year, they're 2 of the youngsters on loan from the club, so we know they've got good players there. It's just whether they can take them to the next level. League One options is the lowest I'm willing to go though, so let's see if any of these come up, or if we get an opportunity at one of the bigger ones. Back in a moment to find out. Back a week later with no job offer news, but big job interview news. We've been rejected by Norwich, which I expected. They're a top half Championship club, but QPR, my preferred choice, have now offered us an interview. We'd be an acceptable fit, so let's go and attend this one. It's great to be here. Let's get started. Look at my work. It shows I'm ready for the higher level. It's acceptable what I'm doing. I want to keep progressing. It's been an exception rather than the rule. I don't just keep losing the dressing room. To every club owner, please listen. I've got a proven track record of spending time in a job. I still don't need any changes to the staffing team. That's up to you. What are your objectives? Repair the club's financial damage again, and next year work to be an established Championship team. So promotion the expectation again. But this is a club that I feel are ready for it. Let's go and say we want a parent club if they haven't got one already. Partnership with a senior affiliate. It was worded differently. Willing to accept that. No, I'm very good. And that does lead me on to expectations. I've got to show you something very quickly which made me chuckle. We just got our club vision expectations through for next season at Bromley. Have a look. Record a top half League 2 finish. We only scraped out of the National League on the final day with a draw. And look at that. We are now expected to be top half next year. We've got to get out. Because if you think the expectations are tough elsewhere, they're certainly pretty tough here too. Through the inbox we go. It's been a week without a job offer. I'm starting to get a little bit nervy and twitchy. First feedback has come, and worryingly, probably the smallest club just on paper have turned us down. They've gone for James Tavernier, who was the Accrington manager before. Are they still in League 1 or are they in League 2? Because if they're a League 1 club, that might be a more realistic move for us. Accrington, he must have been gone already. There are no other jobs up at the moment. I have tried a couple of the ones abroad, just for those of you wondering as well. 2.5 or 3-star ability clubs. They've all just refused to offer us an interview. We've not got enough experience at this level. When we get it, maybe we can look elsewhere. But QPR is the one I really want. And the other 2, well, it's probably unlikely now, isn't it? We could end up stuck at Bromley here. More bad news on the job interview front. We have been rejected by Bolton, the League 1 club in massive financial difficulty. And more worryingly, look at the managers we're going up against. Eddie Howe, after a stint with Newcastle and Cardiff, has taken a job there on £5,500 a week. And we just can't compete. So we've got one more chance with Barnsley. Then QPR are probably even bigger, having just come down from the Championship. But if we don't get either of those 2, I think we might be stuck here because I'm looking elsewhere. There aren't really any opportunities about. There hasn't been much in the Scottish top tier, which I would have looked at as well. And abroad, we're just not getting a look in. So for now, we're pinning our hopes on the 2 clubs that are left. It looks like the QPR favourite has come in massively. That's like over 1-3 on. It's ridiculous. So it's Barnsley or no one, I think. I'm not sure we're going to get what we want here. But Barnsley was my preference of the 3. And of the 4, these were my 2 favourite jobs. So if one of them offers us it, we're going to snap their hand off and go straight there. Well, problems are afoot. I took a step down and applied for Stockport County. Job interview unsuccessful. Stoke the same, QPR the same, Barnsley the same. We are running out of options and we're losing out on jobs to Malky Mackay, David Fox and a few others. This is not a good position to be in, as I feel like after coming back for this, we are now going to be stuck with Bromley. What on earth do we do in terms of planning? Do we keep applying for jobs? And will we find anything suitable? We're going to keep looking, we're going to keep going for it. There's a couple of slightly smaller clubs popping up in Turkey now, so maybe that's something we look at too. I really want to take that next step in my career. What sort of reputation are these lot? Maybe this is the sort of move for us. They've got Lazar Markovic, the former Liverpool man. He's their star player at 34. Can't run to save his life. But what a team they've got. Does look like a step up in terms of ability, in terms of wages certainly. But I am a little bit worried that most of their squad is in its mid-30s. Certainly seems to be that a few are retiring or moving on. Although to be fair, the rest of it isn't that bad. We've maybe just got the bad half of it. So let's go and apply for that one. Be an interesting job if nothing else, won't it? Maybe as we go along, something good will come up. I'm just seeing what other jobs are insecure. Not really any huge ones, but a few that would be of interest. So we're going to apply for that one. I'm going to apply for most of them. I'm just in desperation mode now. Well, plenty more job applications going in, and another job in England has popped up. That job is Ipswich, who finished 21st in the Championship last year. Imagine if 4 League One clubs reject us and then we get a Championship job. That would be a pretty incredible effort. They stayed up at QPR's expense by 2 points. They're not one of the best sides in the division, but it's a big club and it's a big opportunity. And we like to play a high-tempo pressing game. I think I might have to give in a little bit in this interview and agree to give them what they want. We attend the interview. Let's see. We are happy to talk. I'm utterly delighted to get down to business. My body of work proves that I deserve the chance to step up. There might be times where I lack professionalism, but I've learned from those mistakes. Let's just sort of put our tail between our legs here. We're up for a few jobs now. Are you hedging your bets? I'm trying to forge a career by any means necessary. I'm going to say I'll cultivate a healthy atmosphere. Of course I will. I'll get it right. Don't you worry about me. If we make promises, we'll be fine. Gary Probert, Director of Football, delighted to have one in. I recognise that name as well. I think he's rated pretty well. No changes needed on the staffing side. What do you want to achieve? You want to continue being established in the Championship in 2 years. So a mid-table finish, a solid effort. I'm pretty happy we can achieve that. High-tempo pressing football, defensively solid, and they want to play direct. Oh, this is starting to sound good. I get to play boring football and be rewarded for it. I like the sound of it. I'm very happy. Let's move on. Do you have any requests you'd like to consider? No, I will work entirely the way you want. Please, please, please give us that job. We've also got an interview in Turkey, which is quite interesting. They are that slightly smaller club we had a look at. I'd be really interested to do something different. Let's see what we get. Football is something of a universal language. They're concerned we can't speak Turkish. I've got experience in other countries, which is fine. Look at my work. I'm ready to step up to the higher level. I feel it's acceptable how long I've been in management, and we're in the running for a few jobs because I want to keep progressing. Can we cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere? Yes. Stop doubting me because of one team, Airbus, that hated me. As part of the recruitment process, we want to change staff. Not at all. And let's keep going further down. They want to be an established Super League team. So they're not expecting anything massive either. They're two clubs with relatively low expectations. This season, the club just wants to avoid relegation. That's absolutely fine by me. Transfer budget of £1.5 million. This is a step up and a half, isn't it? That's fantastic. Wage budget of 100 grand is fine. We don't have any other requests at all. Will one of you two please offer me a job? At this point, a trip to Turkey or a step up to Ipswich. Let's see if we get one. Well, it turns out in all this searching for a job this summer, I've actually missed something very important. Bromley have just offered me a new contract and I was wondering why. I haven't actually got a contract after next week. This is the first contract offer I've had from them, and I find that really bizarre and a little bit alarming, to be honest. Our reputation's gone up to 2-star after completing our 4th badge. So let's go back to the inbox. Do you know what? I'm going to gamble here. I'm going to walk away because I want to show you what's happened in the last few weeks in terms of transfers. There's 2 players I think that have come in, or did one reject? Yeah, one rejected and one came in. Liam Cowan's been sent out on loan, and the player that's come in to replace Chris Bennett is scary level for League 2. So we're going to need to be careful here. I'm going to walk away, and I know it's not right, but I just don't feel the realistic expectations are there. They want to finish in the top half and then the playoffs the year after. They've not improved the side. It's getting significantly worse. And they haven't offered me a deal until a week before. Maybe it will show one of the others I'm serious. There are other jobs available. We've been linked with Ascoli in the press. We're not the favourite for any of them though. So let's just skip ahead. We're going to gamble our fortune. We're going to break down the talks. We're going to see if we get a job. We have landed well and truly on our feet. And I think we've landed on our feet on the moon because we have had one hell of a summer here. Don't forget, we have just been rejected by 4 League One clubs. And now a championship club has come in for us. The patience has paid off. The ballsy move with the contract has paid off. We have been approached by Ipswich. This is a bigger step up than we could have dreamed of, and a bigger one than I expected when we started this episode. We have got to become an established championship club and stay up, but they don't have too much expectation on the footballing side. 2.5 million the transfer budget, 250,000 the wage budget, and 5 grand a week for me. I'm still earning like 800 quid, am I not? We had a look a minute ago. 725 quid a week, up to 5 grand a week. A big championship club coming in for us, and we are going to replace Scott Parker. That is more than we could have ever expected. But let's go and start the negotiations. Let's make sure we get this wrapped up. It's only a 1-year deal. We've only got 5 days on our current Bromley contract, and they only offered us a 1-year deal as well, by the way. Let's try and get it up to 6 grand a week. Really push the boat out. We suggest terms. They have agreed it. We are going to become manager of Ipswich Town. Our first EFL game will not be in League 2 with Bromley. It will be in the Championship, the second tier. Ipswich are a huge club. It is a massive opportunity. I am so happy after all of that we have landed on our feet. It's going to be a great start to the next episode. I'm not going to ruin too much about the club, but just to give you a little bit of perspective, they are a Championship team. If we look at the general size of the club, they came up and stayed up last season. Now they want to push on to the next level. 3-star reputation, determined squad personality, media prediction 20 seconds, so they're on the cusp. And with the right director of football, who knows what signings will come in. Facilities, 30,000 stadium, the biggest stadium of any club that we went for an interview with. Good facilities on both training and youth, the best we've seen as well, and decent recruitment and junior coaching. They're a class club. There's a lot of quality there. I just want to look at the state of the squad in terms of contracts, because there's a few going out this summer, lots of loan players and a few that are out of contract too. But in terms of the regular stars at the club, they're tied down for the long term, and there's names I recognise. Leif Davis is there, Raheem Harper, George Edmondson, Luke Wolfenden. There's good players at this football team. This is a massive job. I am a very happy man. Let's get back to the inbox because that job has been accepted. I'm sorry it was a bit of a weird episode in the end. I really thought we'd go for those 3 initial interviews and maybe get a job offer. In the end, it's just been an episode of interviews, looking, hoping, and a little bit of desperation too. But in the end, we've probably got the biggest job of the lot from the ones that we've realistically applied for. We're going to the Championship, and in the next episode in 2 days' time, we will go and have a look at the Ipswich squad, the Ipswich staff, and we'll have a summer transfer special ahead of our first game in charge of them. If you're looking forward to that and you did enjoy this episode, the little topsy-turvy, a range of emotions shown, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We're going into the second half of this century with a very big club. If you're looking forward to it and you want to stay up to date, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Let me know what you think of the move and the clubs that rejected us. Was it just those extra couple of promises that maybe got us over the line? And do you think we'll succeed at Ipswich, or is it going to be a big fall from grace? Because it is a big step up, and there is a chance we might not be ready. Our reputation certainly isn't. Hopefully we'll be able to succeed though. In the meantime, we'll be back with our Distillery Builder Nation tomorrow. You can find that playlist, our matchday action clips from the FA Cup at the weekend, and much more up in the eye above. But a massive thank you for watching. I really appreciate the support. A very different style of episode to one I've done before, but it's ended the right way. A big opportunity in the Championship. I'll see you next time for our first day in the job.